So here we are with video notes. I doubt this is something I'll actually find usable, but I have to spend more time enunciating in front of a video camera and then living with the results that come in the recording or finding a way to desperately edit it out. I guess one of the things I want to be keeping track of is my sense of well-being following each dialysis treatment. Uh, Yesterday was a difficult one. It was the most, that would be, yesterday was January 4th, 2025. I had started dialysis in October, on the 9th. Uh, right in University of Vermont Medical Center. 4 days there of dialysis, outpatient, but 4 days in a row. And then I started an in-center dialysis over in South Burlington, where I have gone 3 times a week since. So that's what all of most of October, all of November, all of December, and here are a couple of days into January, where I've been making my trek 30 miles up there and back. Usually, I will drive myself back and obtain a meal immediately after dialysis, heat that in the parking lot of the fast food dispensary that I've subscribed to that day, and then finish the ride home enjoying the drink and or an occasional leftover fried item. This last visit was I was uncomfortable. I had experienced fairly strong leg cramps. According to Becky, whom I was working with, they had decided to take out, and I had agreed to them taking out 1 liter or 1,000 milliliters of fluid. I've had success in recent weeks with them taking levels as high as 1,300 and maybe 1,400. 1,400 had just a twinge, but nothing that I required an intervention. But I don't recall if I did 1,500 successfully or not. In any case, being 1,000 would have been easier because they were thinking that I'd gained little over over the duration between the 2 sessions. So they argued for less, and in fact, less was even too much. We had to back me off because I had such severe cramping at about 2.5 to 3 hours into the procedure that they ended up move fluid removal, and it even later on ended up restoring fluid to me. So that was a sobering intervention, and not to mention that it really does break up the time one has during treatment. The podcast I was going to put together should have been focusing on productive ways to use one's time during the procedure. However, sometimes the time is not yours to have. I had to set things aside and make space for them to work with, working with the machine near me and having a nurse and a technician all within arm's reach of me while they were sorting me out, for which I'm grateful. You're stuck in the chair for 4 hours. You cannot really do much to fend for yourself, and the goodwill and the good professional delivery of both technician and nurse were really very reassuring. I know they were doing the right things at the right time. It was only that I was not responding as quickly as we could have hoped. Eventually, I was out of pain. It took maybe 10 to 15 minutes of adjustment to get around that peak of cramping, primarily in my right calf. That's almost always where I get it, but also in my left calf for a brief while. Restoring fluids helped. Moving my legs down from the prone position to a seated position on the shelf also made a good difference. And eventually they were able to put me back up again for treatment level. No fluids being removed, but my blood still being continuously filtered. So that was the more extraordinary one. At the end, Becky said I should argue for having them reset my target weight to a higher level so that in the future, the margin is that narrow, we will take off no fluid. I expect that will be the right thing to do, as my ambition is to gain muscle back in the process of enduring the treatments. I'm worn out afterwards, but on a day like today, or probably even today, I'll be able to do some weightlifting, and also some more on tomorrow. So I'll be able to go back to treatment on Tuesday with a body probably well laden with lactic acid, and see if the dialysis doesn't in fact lighten my load by the time I'm done. Probably would be worthwhile squeezing my muscles to help circulation during the treatment, so anything that is sore has this lactic acid leached away, and the overall load of my circulatory system overall reduced. Also while losing creatinine and caffeine. So I get all the enes are going up. Enes are going out. In, out. I'll have to remember that. I will remember that. I shall remember.